One thing I don't like about the iPhone is that when you select video, it zooms in so much from the photo camera mode, which makes it just really uncomfortable to hold the phone from so far away that you have to do that. But that's not what we're here to talk about. In the last video, I mentioned that I have borderline personality disorder. I actually discussed that with my therapist yesterday. We never officiated that, but I thought I had it for years. And she says that she said it makes sense to have that diagnosis. She didn't really dispute it in the sense of like, it's a dubious diagnosis for me. She said that she asked me what benefit would it have for me to have such a diagnosis. And there's truth to that. With any diagnosis, it's for utility's sake that you're diagnosing someone. It's so you can, decide how to treat that person, how to allow that person to, work through their issues, how to get them to do that, what issues to work through. You don't just diagnose someone because it's not, the chief reason is not because you see things in them that you can assess that way. Personality disorders are often not diagnosed because to label someone's personality as pathological and of a fixed pattern that is of detriment to their lives, that's a hard thing to put on someone, Sorry, my voice is kind of like raspy because I yelled like mad before I filmed the last video. Hence why I filmed the last video, and hence why I'm filming this one. The Wikipedia page of borderline personality disorder, BPD, also known as emotionally unstable personality disorder, EUPD, is a mental illness characterized by a long-term pattern of unstable relationships, a distorted sense of self, and strong emotional reactions. There is often self-harm and other dangerous behavior. Those affected may also struggle with a feeling of emptiness, fear of abandonment, and detachment from reality, also known as derealization or dissociation, rather. Derealization is when you believe it's not real. Dissociation is when you detach from the context of your life. Symptoms may be triggered by events considered normal to others. The behavior typically begins by early adulthood and occurs across a variety of situations. Substance abuse, depression, and eating disorders are commonly associated with BPD. Approximately 10% of people affected die by suicide. Yeah, let's keep reading, sure. BPD's causes are unclear, but seem to involve genetic, neurological, environmental, and social factors. It occurs about 5 times more often in a person who is an affected close relative. Adverse life events also appear to play a role. The underlying mechanism appears to involve the frontal limbic network of neurons. I'm going to skip a bit. BPD is typically treated with therapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, or one thing I took, dialectical behavioral therapy, which is awesome. DBT may reduce the risk of suicide. Therapy may occur one-on-one or in a group. While medications do not cure BPD, they may be used to help with the associated symptoms. Some people require hospital care. Women are diagnosed about 3 times as often as men. It appears to become less common among older people. Up to half of people improve over a 10-year period. I relate to that so much. I've had serious, even devastating issues in my life that have come from my own hand, my own words, my own emotionality. Like, I shouldn't have to bust a door before I calm down. And I shouldn't have to put years of effort to make sure those things don't happen as much as possible. And they still do happen. I wasn't like this before puberty began, when I became that guy that people knew. Sorry. I mean, I always knew it was something like that. It was either BPD, NPD, or HPD, which, especially HPD and BPD, are kind of similar. It's really all of them, actually, relative to each other, pretty similar disorders. Histrionic personality disorder is just, delusions of grandeur and, constantly carving out means for attention. And then NPD is just you are in this for yourself, and you will detonate. You'll here. Let's read it. Sure, let's find NPD, which I don't have. NPD is characterized by lack of empathy. That I know, and it's characterized by, here it is. Oh yeah, wait, yeah. Why do I doubt myself? It's not like I don't know Jack. Exaggerated feelings of self-importance, an excessive need for admiration, and a lack of empathy toward other people. Most narcissists aren't going to look to find that they're narcissists. Actually, that's not true. Many narcissists are acknowledge that they're narcissists and don't know what to do about it. And so it's not true. It's just a myth. I read a Psychology Today article about that. But, what to do? As I mentioned in that other video, I've lost friends due to being someone who, has neglected other people's boundaries, has been rude to people, has been oversensitive with people, has been clingy. I do relate to the excessive need for admiration thing, but that's kind of collapsed in recent times for me. Love is enough. Respect is enough. And earning it is enough. More than enough. I've always wanted to earn it. The lack of empathy thing I don't relate to. I have plenty of empathy. Exaggerated feelings of self-importance. I've had that at times, but that's just like idealizing and devaluing yourself. And, distorted sense of self is listed here. It's for BPD. Ego dystonia and stuff, How long is this going to go on, this video? I don't know. Are you enjoying it? What do I even feel right now? It feels like numbness mixed with sadness. Mild resentment. And mild empowerment, hope. Because, goodness, I can say this now, But these problems have plagued me for years, ever since I became a man, so to speak.